How you doing? Welcome to live stream number 193. It is Friday, folks. We made it. That is good. We made it to Friday. That means Cam. It's good to be back on a Friday. Hope we get some people in here. Today's topic, it's probably important that I had that written down. We're going to talk about, it's Cam. It's Friday, it's Cam. CNC router with a drag knife using Fusion 360. Clock is ticking. If you're watching the recording, I will not blame you for fast forwarding a couple of minutes. Just want to give people a chance to come in a little bit early and me to tell you thank you. I really appreciate for you guys taking the time to join these live streams. Means the world to me. Just make update, see if we're also on Facebook. Looks like it. So YouTube and Facebook. Absolutely awesome. I can see we got Just in 3D is here. Good to see you, man. Bernie's here. Always good. Greg, Christopher, Walker. Good to see you guys. Yes, today should be hopefully fun. That's at least the plan here. We're gonna have some props. We're gonna do some different things here today. So that should be. I'm excited about today. You let me know if this is good or bad, right? Like always, John is here. Evandro is here. A Cutter is here. Absolutely appreciate it. Yes, today's Cam. Today we're actually gonna do live cutting for the first time. Hopefully, if things works out, that is what we're gonna do today. This could be hopefully the start on something a lot more exciting. I should say no live streams next week. I am going to Plano, Texas, to do a generative design workshop on Tuesday. So I'll be traveling for that. If you are in the area, there's still available seats, so definitely jump in with that. Then I'm gonna swip over to Detroit for a day's training internally, and then back home, but I have some training too. All right, enough of me talking. I can see where we got people in here. Let me get rid of the clock. That is what we need to, and let's get started. Hi everybody, and welcome to live stream number 193. My name is Lars Christensen. This is Friday. Love Fridays. That means Cam, and this is just an attempt to add a little bit more value to your Fusion 360 experience. I'm excited about today because I'm gonna get to try something new. Ooh, that's always good. If you watched the video I did not too long ago, where I kind of cut out this cardboard using Fusion 360 to paint my suitcase. I don't know if you watched that video, but I got quite a few requests of that video about digging a little bit deeper into that. What I used was what is called a drag knife. We're going to talk about this one in a little bit of a second, but what is exciting about today, so even if you don't care about this, maybe just watch me fail or something. Because what we have going on right now is that this is a live shot of the Stepcraft, that the 840 that Stepcraft was kind enough to let me borrow. And you will actually see that there's no tool in the Stepcraft right now. That's because I have it right here. That is how. So there's the Stepcraft sitting like beneath me here. I'm gonna go down and we're gonna have it running hopefully at the end of today's live stream. But we're gonna use this this drag knife. It's called. I want to talk about that in a little bit of a second. What I'm gonna cut today, and this is not ideal. Sorry, is cutting a sticker. You see that A sticker right there on the computer? That is a vinyl sticker. And I know that if you're using CNC high-end, this maybe is not the most interesting thing, but you know, I thought it could be interesting to talk about. So here's the vinyl that I cut it out of, and it probably is way too white, so you can't see anything. I was supposed to peel off a sticker for you here that I cut earlier, but actually the blade doesn't look like it was deep enough. It's okay. I'll talk about it just in a second. Before we get into Fusion, so The way this drag knife works is, or at least the Stepcraft one works, is that, I don't know if you can see it, if I get close enough, there is a little tip at the end. That's a blade. That's a little like razor blade style. This whole thing is spring loaded, so it can go up and down, and you will see it running in the end. On the back side, there is a dial, and that dial will control how deep the blade goes down, depending on what material you're cutting. So when I was just showing you this one that ripped off, I probably didn't have the blade deep enough, and you will actually see maybe I have an issue with my machine that I haven't leveled it good enough, because there was a portion where it actually did cut through. Well, whatever. But yeah, this is what we're going to be using today to cut around. And one of the questions I got is this one I think high-end drag knives will actually rotate so the knife blade is always oriented in the cutting direction. This one don't do that, but it doesn't seem to be a big issue. So again, just so you can see here is the machine sitting waiting for us. We're gonna be down there in just a minute. I'm sorry that it's a little bit out of grainy. It's not out of focus, but grainy. I'm not quite sure how to work on that, but all right. So let's get into Fusion. Was way too much talking already. So this is the part that I'm going to be using for this, and I'm kind of excited about this because this gives me an opportunity to show you a couple of different things. By the way, this model is available in the description of this video. So just so you're aware of that, you can click and you can download it. This was the model that I used for that sticker. But this one, if you're watching the live streams, this is not a new model. We use this one for the keychain when they did the cam challenge. So this is the same model, but this model is actually not great right now. So I wanted to take you through the whole workflow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up a sketch and start a sketch on the top plane here, and I'm gonna draw this up for cam. That's my whole purpose for this lesson today. So if you're fairly new to cam, hopefully this is kind of a useful thing. Again, you let me know in the comments area. So I'm gonna start a sketch. I'm gonna do a 2D 2-point rectangle, snap it into the center here, and I'm gonna drag it down, and I'm gonna make it 100 millimeters wide, because that's how wide I want. That's how wide I want this sticker. And length, I don't know, we can make that 100 too, it doesn't really matter. So I just sketched up this rectangle because that's how wide I want the sticker to be. But as you can see, hit OK to that. My model, my 3D model, this keychain is not that big. It's a small little keychain. If it was, it would be a big keychain if it was 100 millimeters wide, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Modify, and I'm going to go and I'm going to scale it. And now again, this model is available for you to download in its original shape. I didn't do the work for you. Hit Scale. I'm going to select the body here, and then I can scale it up to however big I want it. Now it looks like the 2, so twice as big, is probably about the right size right there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and right click and use the Move Copy tool. And I'm just going to snap it into this key ring hole here. Drag this down, move this down here. We've used this before. Now for this drag knife, or for this example here on the machine, I really don't care too much about exactly where it is, right? I just kind of like got to fit it within the vinyl. So I'm just going to place it like this and hit OK. So let me just stop for a second and make sure that we're kind of on the same page here. So what we have is what you're seeing, the rectangle around here somewhat resembles what you see the white area on the machine down there in that we're going to go down and cut on in a second. Now there's a couple of things about this part that I don't want. For example, I don't need the key ring attachment because this is going to be a sticker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a new sketch on that same top plane, like this. And then I'm going to use P for project. Now, if you watched yesterday live stream with the shortcuts, I talked about how watch yesterday live stream, be faster modeling. But I'm back to the default installation, P for project. And if you have it over here on the specified entities, it will select the edges. But if you select this next one, the bodies, it will actually project everything. So if I click on that, it will actually take all the edges of this model and copy them into the sketch. So when I hit OK, and I can go over now and I can hide this body on the light bulb, this is what we are left over with. What is just a bunch of sketch geometry. And this is actually probably the most exciting thing I think about this live stream is we don't need a solid inside of Fusion to be able to create toolpath. We can literally just use sketches. That's what we're going to do today. Again, this is a whole experiment for me to go down in the end and cut this, and hopefully you find that interesting. If not, then I have failed. But, so I didn't want this key ring here. So I'm going to just select this line, hit delete on my keyboard. So you can see I can just delete these edges right here and the circle. And then we're just going to go up and create a line and close this off. So now I actually have what I need to trace with this knife. Again, if you just joined in, we have the drag, or we have the Stepcraft that they've been kind enough to let me borrow. And for the Stepcraft, we have, I'll just switch over to Fusion here. For the Stepcraft, besides having a spindle on it so you can cut wood, and I've done that in the different live streams, it also comes with this drag knife that can actually cut. So what we're going to cut is vinyl. We're going to cut a sticker with it, if everything works. If not, then we just wasted some time, but that's okay. So now when we have this here, now we are ready to get into CAM. So to do that, I'm going to go up to Model, go into CAM, and again, you know, just going to take all the steps through here. So I'm going to create a setup. You always have to create a setup inside of Fusion. Now, what you see here is the stock that kind of get displayed, because this is a fairly simple cut. Now, if this was complicated, we maybe would use some kind of a more in-depth, crazy stock simulation. I'm not going to use stock, so I really don't care about the stock in this situation. What I do care about is the 0, 0 point. So the triad here, we got to make sure it's pointing in the right direction. If you ever watched my live streams, I always talk about any of my CAM videos that I only use select Z and X axis. So if you select on that, we can flip the axis if we need to. We don't need to in this case, but we need to have our origin somewhere, and I prefer to do it in the upper left corner. So I'm going to change my start point to actually, I can select model origin, and you will see that it flips right over there. But you could actually also, if you didn't want to use this, you could just select coordinate system, and you will kind of like get to the same point in here. Whoops, what do we just do? Hang on. Select coordinate. There we go. So kind of same thing here. You could select coordinate system because I drew it up on the coordinate. Normally, I would always use C-axis and then go down and select you can select the model origin or select the point. Same thing, and select that. Whatever. Setup created. That's all I wanted to get with that. So you can kind of see up here that is set to our 0 here. So now we're going to select the toolpath we're going to be using. And I would use the trace toolpath. Now the trace toolpath is under 2D. And trace toolpath will actually follow a 3-axis shape. But what is neat about this situation is that it will follow the sketch line. Remember, in this exercise, we're not going to do any offsets or anything. We're not gonna have any 3D models. We're literally just gonna trace the sketch. I'm gonna hit trace. You should always select the tool. Now it's not really gonna matter much for what I'm gonna do today, and I'm gonna take the shortcut and just go in and select a 3mm end mill I have. Doesn't really matter. There's nothing's going to be spinning around. There is going to be a feed rate though, cutting feed rate, and I think it seems to me that 20 inches per minute is a good speed for this knife. You could probably cut a little bit faster, but 20 seems to be kind of conservative. For the geometry, I'm going to select those two sketch geometries. Remember, the trace will cut right on the line, so there's no cutter compensation here. Now the heights tab is interesting because the trace will only cut on where the line is. And when we're cutting this, I'm actually going to program this as at a Z0 or Z0, because like I said earlier, this thing, you set on the dial on the back, you set how far out the blade should go. So what you actually will do before you do anything, you will grab a piece of, in this case, vinyl, and you will kind of like drag the knife over it and find out when it's deep enough. It's kind of hard for me to show here. I don't have a good setup, but you kind of like put the knife down and just kind of like drag the knife over, and you will get a depth of cut. And that will tell you if the knife is you don't want it to cut all the way through the vinyl, but you don't want it to be too shallow either. And then you can adjust that back here by dialing the knife a little bit further. It will take a little bit further out like this. But Z0, because it will just flex like this. So what I'm gonna do when I get down to the machine, because like I said, right now the machine don't have a head in it, because I'm holding it in my hand. But what I'm going to do when I come down to the machine is, you will see I'm going to home the machine, send the machine home, because that's important. I'm going to wrap it over, and I'm going to move down the Z-axis till just about when you can see this spring action in the head. And then that will be my Z0. Okay, enough of that. So pretty much what I'm saying is, don't worry about the Z depth because of this cut. You can fire all your questions in the comment area later on. I'll try to answer them best as I can. This whole drag knife is somewhat new to me too. I'm much more about end mill spinning. We'll do that another time. So I'm gonna hit OK to this, and we have now created our first toolpath. And if we simulate it, we will see that the cutter is just gonna go down. It's just gonna machine around right on the line here, and then it's going to move over and do the same thing over here, and that's it. That's all the program we're going to be doing here. My whole excitement is to get down on this machine, and hopefully you enjoy it, actually see it cutting. That's the excitement for today. So again, just to summarize before we post it out, that you got your Z-axis is set over here, and I'm just going to manually on the machine, you'll see I'm just going to move over in the upper left and move the head down till I see that spring action, and that will create my G54 for my Z depth and where it's going to start from, and then of course it's going to go ahead and cut this if everything works. Of course I have to install the thing too on the Stepcraft, so you're gonna be able to see that. Now let's post this out. So I'm gonna go ahead and here say post, and I have my UC CNC post here. You can of course change wherever you want your post in here. We talked about that on other live streams. So you can use the installed ones or the personal post. So I downloaded this one from the online post. If you Google Autodesk Post Library, you can download all these different posts. Now I'm just going to post this out here, and let's post it to the desktop. And I did this earlier, but I'm not going to cheat or anything. I just didn't want to waste your time by me loading in the program, because I don't have an extra camera to show you that. What I do have to, and I'm not a big fan of this. This is one of my faults. I will always tell you, you should never have to edit anything in your post process, in your poster code. Then you should edit it. And then I gotta admit that the G53, Z0, but it's kind of like a Z home position, I have to take those out on this post. Now, like I said, I normally would say that you should never have to do this. Deleting this out will not, there's no danger of crashing the machine here though, but I have to delete those two in the beginning and the end. I should actually get the post modified so I don't have to ever touch that again and delete those two things out. Everything else in this post is straight out of the box for whatever that's worth. So I'm going to save this, and like I said, I'm not going to. Let me just go ahead here. There we go. I'm back. I'm not going to load this program in just because it's going to take me about 20 seconds to get down to the machine and install this one here, and then hopefully you will see it run, and hopefully it makes us or the sticker. I hope this is useful. I'll be back up here again, and I don't have a microphone either down there, but I think you can hear me probably yapping as I'm walking down the stairs. It's not that far away. So let's try this. If this is stupid, let me know, right? In comment area. This is just me trying to do something different. And I should also say on this Stepcraft that I do have a tool changer that I got a mount on it. I'm super excited about doing that because I think that would be a cool video. I'm going to create a whole video on the tool changer. But with that, give me 10 seconds to get down there, and then you will see me down there, and I will let's try to run this. All right, I'm on my way. So hopefully you can hear me. I don't know how good you can hear me. Down here. Should be the camera, if you can hear me. Alright. So, this is live. Can you hear me? Can you see the comments? So I'm going to install the head here. Just press it down. So there's the head sticking here. There's a little screw to tighten. I really like this machine. I like it more and more. So that was that. And now my computer went to sleep. Okay. Let's zero home all the X's, because that's important. So now you kind of see that zeroing home there. Is this good? Let me see. Hopefully it's good. I'm going to have to listen to the recording afterwards myself. Alright, the machine is home, so now I get to manually jog it. So now you see how fast it can move. So that's the y-axis. Move it over in the x-axis. And then we're going to move it down in the z. No crashing. And I can slow it down a little bit. It's kind of interesting, but I don't know if you can hear me. And I'm just looking for that spring action. About there. Now I know that it's engaged into it, but there's a little bit of play. So I'm going to go ahead and do a zero out my axes. So my X, my Y, and my Z. So now my G54 is set. And then I'm just going to move it up a little bit. Get out of the way a little bit. And let's see how it goes if we run this program. Here we go. Live cutting with Lars. Oh, I'm cutting too deep. I put the knife too deep. You see that? It's going to cut the whole thing out. Oh, that's not cool. Ha-ha! Alright. Let me just finish. This live stream just got longer. See? You cut it out. I don't know if you can see that. But it cut it out. I put the knife too deep. So, no, it's because it wasn't too deep, and then I went it too deep. That's how it goes. not open here. There we go. So it's probably because the knife is sticking out a little bit too deep. Now I'm not quite sure how much to adjust it. That looks like it's deep. No, it's not. This vinyl is not very. All right. I think that's good. We'll try that. See if that is better. We'll get 2 tries here. Okay. Let's just move it home here. You can actually, in this program, you can put in G codes. So G00, G54, X0, Y0. Just bring it over there. All right. Let's just move it over a little bit. Up there. Let's try it again. Rewind program. Pulse up. Still deep. Still too deep. Well, that sucks. Let's see if I can hold it. Nope. All right. Well, get some lousy ones here. Do I have time to try one more? I'm going to try one more. You don't want to watch it, then I don't blame you. Just turn it down the bag a little bit. I'm going to go down burning with the ship. This is why people sometimes think that live streaming over. Try that. One more time. I don't know if that's going to work. It's like that. You get 3 tries, but it's still coming too deep. All right. Let's see. Not totally. Not totally. A little bit of adjustment, but it does look like you get a sticker out of it. All right, so that was the goal there, I guess. 3 times of the charm. Ha ha! back up again. Maybe you haven't heard anything. Maybe nobody is left. Is anybody left? Was this good? Not good? Was this worth it? I don't know. I tried. No, but that was what I was planning on showing today. That was a little bit of the Fusion 360 with the drag knife. The first time that I have done the cutting live. So, you know, that's just something to try. I will get the tool changer on this machine. Hopefully I get some time next weekend. And then we will do some more cutting with some fun stuff on this machine. Until next time, if this is good, bad, whatever, I can see here that you guys could hear me. All right, something to try, right? Have an awesome weekend. Have an awesome next week. And I will see you not this Monday, but the following Monday. Until next time, have an awesome, awesome day. Take care, folks.